Alright, what's up, boys? It's Moose Man here, back again with another story time. I hope you guys have been having a very wonderful start to your holiday season. I know I have. Thanksgiving was really good for me. I hope it was for you guys. I really do. But yeah, if it hasn't, go ahead and I hope it gets better, dude. That's pretty suck, but like it'll get better, dude. Times get better, so it'll be fine. But yeah. I hope you guys do like the story time today. It's going to be the story time about how I almost got hit with a brick. If you guys do like the story time, go ahead and like, subscribe. It would really be much appreciated. Yeah. Alright, and there's one more little, like, kind of mini announcement before I get into the whole story time. Today is officially the 1 year mark, for me making story times. If you go onto my page and you go to my first ever story time, it will say 1 year ago. So yeah, I've been doing this whole story time thing for 1 year. I have posted a shit ton of videos, not as much as I really wanted to for this year, but I mean I have, and the year's coming to an end now, so yeah, that's sick. I'm gonna be doing this for many more years to come, obviously, but yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the story time. Alright, so this story time takes place about a couple of weeks ago, alright? Very, very new story time. Well, not really new, but just new for my story times. Usually they're a couple of years old, but this one is a couple of weeks old, so, yeah. Alright, so the story time takes place, like I said, a couple of weeks ago. And one day, I wake up, and it was a weekend, right? So I wake up, I brush my teeth, wash my face, take a fucking shower, put on the outfit for the day, and I leave the house, right? So I'm out, and I go to this street spot that's like 15 minutes away from my house. I skate for a good like 2-3 hours, and then I'm like, oh, let me go talk to my friends that live across the street, right? Because in my neighborhood, well, before I started skateboarding, before like COVID and everything, I used to play basketball a lot, and I made a pretty big, good friend group while I was playing basketball from the kids that were, on my street, right? So, yeah. So I was like, oh, well, I haven't been there in a while since I've started skating and everything. I go down there and start playing basketball with them again, right? So I go down there, and there's this kid who I kind of knew. We're just gonna name Jake. He was a part of the friend group, but we first started talking to him like a couple of months ago at the time when the story time took place. So, yeah. So I go up to him and I'm like, hey, dude, you wanna, play some basketball? Because he already had his goal out. He was like, yeah. So I start shooting around. He was shooting around with his own ball. And we're shooting around, right? And then he asked me to 1v1 him, right? So I'm like, alright, because I really don't have a problem with 1v1ing this kid. Not to flex or anything. This really sounds cringy, but I'm actually pretty decent at basketball, if I do say so myself. Not like fucking wasted potential type shit, but like I was actually really good. So yeah, so I start playing this kid, and this kid was absolute dog booty cheeks at basketball. Like, this dude fucking sucks. Like, I guess he watched too many fucking YouTube highlights, because literally the only thing he could do was shoot from deep. He didn't learn how to like play defense, like literally nothing. This guy genuinely sucked at everything besides shooting from deep. So I take advantage of this weakness because I play pretty good defense. So I take advantage of this by, locking them down from deep, because that really is his only way of scoring. And then I just bodied him every time he went into the paint, because he was like a head shorter than me, right? So this keeps going for a couple of minutes until it's like, if we were going to 21, it was 15-0. Like, this kid did not score at all. So he's like red hot pissed, right? And we were going by 1s and 2s, so it had been a little while, and I still had 15-0 on this kid. It was just sad. So we keep playing. In one play, I get the ball, I dribble down, and I was doing what I was usually doing the entire game, posting them up and just going for an easy post shot, right? So I'm posting them up, right? I go for the shot. He dead ass just smacks me dead in my fucking face. Just shit up, boom, smacks me in my face. And then I'm like I fall down, the ball like drops, and I'm like, dude, why the fuck did you do that? That shit hurt, right? So he's like, oh, I didn't mean to. So, but before he could like get that out, I kind of like baby pushed him. If you know what a baby push is, you probably do. I just kind of like lightly shoved him, right? Not like a play type thing, but like, dude, why the fuck would you do that type thing, right? So I kind of baby push him, and he's like, oh, why the fuck did you just push me? Why the fuck did you just hit me? And he's running away, and he's like squaring up with me. But I swear to God, it was the funniest shit ever. He was squaring up with me, but the thing was, I felt like he just watched too many of like some random rapper's music videos, because he genuinely thought that the way they fought in those shitty ass videos was like actually a good way of fighting, of streets fighting. So he gets in this weird ass stance, like he's about to slapbox someone, and he's looking at me all crazy, he's moving around and shit, like he couldn't fucking stay still. So he's trying to square up with me, and I didn't really want to fight him, so I was like, dude, why the fuck are you squaring up? He goes up, he like leans back, and goes for like this really long fucking smack, right? But the thing was, this kid was short. At the time, I am a cool 5'8", so, I'm not the tallest person in the world, but I am definitely not, like, fucking micro short. This kid was micro short. He was, like, 5'2". Well, not 5'2". I think I'd give him a good 5'5". Yeah, 5'5". So, this kid, he goes in for this really long hit, but he misses it because he doesn't have big arms. Like, you have to have big arms to do that, right? So, he misses, and he kind of, like, whips me and hits me in my fucking chest, right? So I'm like, dude, why the fuck are you trying to fight me? That shit did not hurt. Just chill out. So, but this guy just persisted. He just kept trying to fight me, right? So he runs over to his basketball goal. And if you've ever played basketball, you know that kind of like, to keep the goal down, it's either your goal is made to hold water and or sand, or you just have to put kind of like a brick or two on it to keep the goal from falling over after every shot, right? So he goes over to his goal, grabs one of the little big ass fucking cinder blocks. He just like fucking smacks it on the ground and breaks into pieces. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But before I could stop, he picks up one of the fucking bricks and just throws it straight at my temple, right? So he throws it, and it's coming at me full fucking speed. I dodge it because this kid fucking sucked at throwing. This kid literally would suck absolute balls if he played baseball. But yeah, he just straight up throws it at my temple. I dodge it. He goes over. He like grabs another brick and he throws it at me again. But this one didn't miss. Hit me in my arm. So it hit me in my arm, but it kind of whiffs me, right? So it scratches me, obviously, but it whiffs me, right? So I'm like, dude, why the fuck did you just do that? And I'm like pissed off now because this dude just threw 2 cinder blocks at me. But by that time, he was too far away from the goal to throw another block, right? So I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I go over and I just straight up sock him in his fucking face, and I just start beating him down, right? So after a couple of seconds, his fucking sister came outside and stopped us from fighting. His sister was 9, by the way. I'm sorry if that little girl is watching this. I'm sorry for beating the shit out of your brother, but we're cool now. So that, yeah. So she breaks us up, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I go over to my friend's house that lived like the house down. And I was like, dude, fucking Jake just tried fucking fighting me, dude. And he was like, oh shit, that's crazy. But he didn't really care. So he was like, yeah, you want me to come outside and play some basketball? And I was like, yeah. So we started playing basketball, and a couple of minutes later, my stepbrother comes outside, who lives across the street from the guy I was playing basketball with. He's like, dude, why the fuck did you just beat the shit out of that guy? And he was like, and I was like, yeah, he threw a brick at me. And he's like, you threw a fucking brick at him? Because he was behind him. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, he actually threw 2 fucking bricks at me because I lightly shoved him. And he's like, oh, why the fuck did you do that? You made me think that he had did that shit on purpose. Like, for no fucking reason. Why'd you lie to me? And he was like, yeah, I just wanted you to beat him up because he beat me up. So yeah, that's the story of how a kid threw a actual brick at me. Yeah, you can classify this as one of those I almost died story times, because if that shit hit me in the face, I may be deformed. So yeah, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you can. It would really be appreciated. I love you guys. Have a very, very good holiday. Yeah, peace.